Coming up on Fulton Today, some social programs that improve the lives of county citizens, young and old, receive a financial assist.
With the passing of crossover day at the state capitol, Fulton leaders are keeping a close eye on the bills that would impact county citizens if they become law. I'm Brian Robinson, and coming up, I'll take a closer look at some of those bills.
And the opportunity to vote in this month's special election is winding down. That much and so much more coming up right now on Fulton Today. Welcome to Fulton Today. I'm Dante Carter, in for Shania Chavis Rucker. Crossover Day 2019 at the Capitol has passed. It's the last day for bills to cross over from one chamber to another and still be on path to becoming a law. So what bills could become law that directly impact Fulton County and its citizens? FGTV's Brian Robinson joins us now to explain.
Dante, there were a number of bills that crossed and a number that did not. One that did was House Bill 234 and its companion, Senate Bill 158. Both are known as the Anti-Human Trafficking Protective Response Act, and both provide additional safeguards and protections against human trafficking. Fulton's chairman says human trafficking is an issue that has given Fulton County a black eye in years past due to a high number of human trafficking cases. It's also been one of Chairman Pitt's top priorities since his return to the commission. Should House Bill 234 or Senate Bill 158 become a state law, here are some of the highlights of what would happen. Georgia's Division of Family and Children's Services would be authorized to provide care to children who are victims to human trafficking. And police or DFACS would have to direct the child victims to organizations that can provide healing and support.
And so we can now, without having to wait on a long court order process, provide emergency protection for them as well as immediate adult supervision and care.
Commissioners and the county manager are also showing their support for local legislation for associate judges in the county state court. Unlike all of the other metro Atlanta counties, Fulton State Court does not have part-time or emergency judicial assistants. If approved, 2 to 4 part-time judges would be available to sit in on cases where the regular judge could not appear due to an illness or an emergency. Commissioners have already approved the funding to pay these part-time associate judges.
This is important for business continuity purposes as well as good customer service. Of course, if your judge has an emergency and has to reschedule, that means that your case gets delayed. And so this will allow those judges to continue their work in the absence of a judge when there are cases of emergencies.
Now, state lawmakers are in the back half of the session. You can watch legislators in real time by logging on to legis.ga.gov and click the links under the live broadcast category. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Brian Robinson.
The opportunity to vote in this month's early election is winding down. This week is the last for residents of the city of Atlanta and Hapeville to vote early. Since this is a smaller election, the Fulton County Government Center is the only place an early vote can be casted. If you are waiting to vote next week on Election Day on the 19th, you must do so at your designated polling location.
For Election Day, please call our office at 404-612-7020 to confirm your polling place, or you can go to the Secretary of State's MVP page as well to confirm your polling place.
Though the early voting has yielded a low turnout, those who took advantage appreciated the opportunity, especially since early voting was not originally in the plans. Once again, early voting times are Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Voting day hours are from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. To learn more about this election and to see the acceptable forms of identification needed to cast your vote, log on to fultonelections.com. The county's community service program will continue to assist programs designed to improve the lives of citizens, young and old, with the greatest needs, thanks to the Commissioner's approval of $6 million in funding. Joining us now to talk about the significance of that financial support and the program itself is Fulton's Deputy Chief Operating Officer of Health and Human Services, Pamela Rochelle. Dr. Rochelle, thank you for joining us on Fulton Today. Tell us about some of the nonprofits who will benefit from the funding and how they help the county citizens with the greatest needs.
Well, through our community services program, we basically fund 5 categories of nonprofits. We fund nonprofits that service children and youth, nonprofits that service people experiencing homelessness and people with disabilities, as well as people that are experiencing some economic downturn or poverty. And then we service seniors through senior services nonprofits.
How are nonprofits selected and evaluated?
Well, there's an application process every year. That application process also includes technical workshops, so staff from the Department of Community Development, they go out into the community and really speak with nonprofits about how to write a successful proposal, what we're looking for, and how the proposals will be evaluated.
And talk about the significance of over 106,000 residents being served last year.
Well, I think the significance of the over 100,000 Fulton County constituents that were served in the community services program last year can be looked at in two ways. One is the multiplier effect that we have when we invest in community partners, in social service providers that can provide more impact and scale with our Fulton County investment. And the other is really a highlight on the role that local government can play when it comes to prevention and remediation of some real challenges that people have, as well as really using social services to improve the quality of life for Fulton County residents.
And where can people go to learn more about the community service program?
Well, they can call our Community Services Department at 404-613-7944, or of course you can visit us on the web at fultoncountyga.gov. When you go to the website, you click on Departments and Agencies, and you'll scroll down, you'll see Community Development. And once you click on that, you can see a list of the 2019 program recipients and more information about our community services program.
Dr. Pamela Rochelle, great information as always. What a great program. Fulton's Workforce Board received some valuable training. During the board's retreat at Atlanta Technical College, members of Workforce Georgia spoke about the importance of the board fully understanding their responsibilities and goals, which is to oversee the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act.
So Workforce Fulton oversees what is called the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. So they receive about $3.5 million a year of the $90 million that we get from the state to help train unemployed and underemployed individuals to try to develop a career. And so we're helping those people who may be in a part-time situation that would love a full-time job, or maybe they've been long-term unemployed and have just never really had the opportunity they need to get on a career track. These services help them do just that.
Another message that was conveyed was how Fulton County can leverage their resources once the money is received.
The most important thing we're talking about today is how Fulton County can leverage their resources to provide opportunities for economic mobility for Fulton residents, and how we can develop a quality trained workforce for Fulton County employers.
The retreat was so critical that Fulton's chairman attended and spoke about its importance.
Because in the final analysis, I am responsible for what happens with workforce, responsible for that $3.2 million that we receive. So I want to make sure that every board member understands his and her role, and that we're all moving in the same direction.
After the conclusion of the retreat, Workforce Fulton conducted its regularly scheduled quarterly meeting. And Fulton County is joining the battle to wear out poverty. Fulton County and Souls for Souls are partnering to ask residents to donate their new or gently worn shoes at one of 5 locations across the county: the Fulton County Government Center, Justice Center, Juvenile Justice Center, and the North and South Fulton Service Centers.
Souls for Souls prepare those shoes and distribute them to other third world countries as a way of not only providing footwear for less fortunate individuals throughout the world, but also providing economic opportunities. And I was reading an interesting statistic a few days ago in preparation for this launch that each person within a household has about 3 to 4 pairs of shoes that they no longer wear, no longer like, or no longer find attractive to the same level that when they bought them. So if we take that same scenario and each Fulton County employee brings those 3 pairs of shoes and reach out to a friend or a family member and also get their same 3 pairs of shoes, it's easy that we could get close to our goal of trying to get to about 25,000 pairs of shoes.
The shoes Fulton County collects will help make a difference in people's lives. According to the Souls for Souls website, a new pair of shoes provides relief in many developing nations and around the globe in times of disaster and helps bridge the economic gap in the United States and Canada. This is the last week to donate shoes in the Fulton County facilities. There's much more just ahead on Fulton Today. Stay with us. One commissioner joins with a nonprofit to help turn boys graduating high school into the perfect gentleman. Here's this week's district by district coverage. We begin with Chairman Rob Pitts, who shares ideas about the future of Fulton County at the annual South Metro Development Outlook Conference.
The truth of the matter is, the future of Fulton County, from my perspective, is South Fulton County.
The at-large commissioner, along with Al Nash, Fulton's Development Authority Director, participated in the conference along with a number of local elected and appointed officials.
I believe in partnering and working together. I would love to have it all in College Park, but it can go in East Point, it can go in Fulton County, it can go in the new city of South Fulton, it can go in Palmetto. Jack doesn't care. What I care about is that we bring in great development that will be sustainable for us for many years to come.
We've got a lot of greatness that is here and a lot of assets, and we need to be building off of those assets to help expand and grow the tax base.
The collaborative firm, led by former Fulton Commissioner Michael Hightower, spearheads this initiative, which is in its 17th year. The SMDO brings leaders from the public, private, and nonprofit sectors together to address regional economic development issues and opportunities. The trending topics this year included transit, smart cities, and the role millennial entrepreneurs will play in building a robust workforce. And the District 4 team meets with organizers of a nonprofit to start a new partnership aimed at helping male youth. Commissioner Natalie Hall and her team are joining the I Am a Gentleman Incorporated to host the Project Gentleman Conference for graduating male seniors of Fulton County and Atlanta public schools.
The purpose of this partnership is to enhance the experiences and services offered to young men who are in their senior year in high school, and to promote our shared goal of engaging, enriching, and empowering young men toward healthy lifestyles and successful careers.
Project Gentleman helps young men develop self-esteem and tools. The year-long program, already launched in Chicago with the Chicago school system, has proven to be successful. Now you can catch your commissioners at work all this week with the rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FUTV. Still to come on Fulton Today, the solution in place to feed those county residents living in food desert. We've got that story for you next. Fulton's HIV/AIDS Prevention, Care, and Policy Advisory Committee comes together to tackle the issue, once again, of ending the epidemic in the county. The committee that replaced the Fulton County Task Force on HIV/AIDS held its last meeting at the Grady IDP Ponce Clinic. While the group seeks to update the strategy to end HIV infections in Fulton County, it now has a date specific to the goal per Fulton County's chairman.
If we really focus down, if we have strong leadership from Chairman Pitts, from the other boards of commissioners, if we have strong community engagement, we can make this happen. There are other cities that 2 or 3 years ago looked similar to what we look like right now in Fulton County. But they developed a strategy, they committed to it, they're constantly evaluating it, monitoring it, and changing it as they need to, and they're now starting to see dramatic reductions.
And we're also going to expand our committee to include a person of transgender experience and a person that's living with HIV, which is representation of the epidemic here in Fulton County.
The committee will periodically report to the Board of Commissioners on the impact and effectiveness of the implementation of the policy recommendations outlined in the strategy, as well as provide input into new strategies, tactics, and policies that may be supported by commissioners to address HIV/AIDS in Fulton County. Fulton seniors make an effort to learn a new way to communicate. For over 3 weeks, participants of various county senior facilities have been meeting at the Darnell Center to learn sign language. The instructor has been teaching as a volunteer for over 6 years.
I love communicating with other cultures, and the deaf culture is another culture, definitely. How to teach the seniors and the other individuals how to communicate with the deaf.
Students first have to master these workshop sessions before starting the full sign class.
I've always been interested in learning sign from the time I was a child, and to me it's a beautiful second language. And I've had a little experience with working with a coworker in sign. I had an opportunity to meet a person who was hearing impaired, and I was excited when I was able to share with her in her language.
I've always been interested for many years, even since high school, but since I've retired recently, I'm very nosy, so I live downtown, and I see a lot of deaf people, and I'm curious to what they're saying, so I really want to learn, so just be experienced to communicate with them.
In 1989, the U.S. Supreme Court officially recognized American Sign Language, known as ASL, as a true language, and many schools and colleges are allowing credits for this as a study in foreign language. These seniors say they are learning simply to better communicate with the hard of hearing and deaf community. And March is National Nutrition Month, and it may surprise you to know that there is a population living in what are known as food deserts that is having challenges getting food right here in our county. FGTV's Melissa Lewis has a story and one of the county's solutions to get them fed.
To the sounds of Tina Turner, these Bowden seniors got in some exercise during this health fair. But even as good as it is to stay active, exercise alone is just one way Fulton Senior Services team is encouraging its clients to stay healthy.
And we teach a 30-minute nutrition class.
The other way involves how much and what they eat. March is National Nutrition Month, and the Fulton County Department of Senior Services kicked off the observance with a health and information fair at the HJC Bowden Senior Multipurpose Facility.
We have a lot of seniors that are malnutrition. We have a lot of seniors that are diabetic. We have a lot of seniors that have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes. So it's important for me to give them all the tools necessary in order for them to live healthy.
National Nutrition Month is an annual nutrition education and information campaign created by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. The campaign focuses on the importance of making informed food choices and developing sound eating and physical activity habits.
I think the health fair is awesome. I love that we're being so participatory. There's a lot of interaction and moving us around, not just sitting all day listening to people talk, but getting good information as well as participating.
Meanwhile, at the Mills Senior Center, the Friends of Mills nonprofit hosted the Feeding the Desert silent auction to benefit seniors living in food deserts. A food desert is an area, especially one with low-income residents, that has limited access to affordable and nutritious food. The Mills Multipurpose Facility is located within a food desert.
We're so excited to partner with the Friends of Mills, Inc. to bring awareness to this issue and to provide seniors that are less fortunate with transportation or funds to get fresh fruits and vegetables.
The bottom line of all of the events hosted by the Senior Services team was to focus on the serious needs of this population to be able to eat healthy without having to travel more than 1 mile outside of their community. It's an issue the department says the county is committed to addressing, one healthy dish at a time. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Melissa Lewis.
Still to come on Fulton Today, celebrating the life and work of a beloved author who loved green eggs and ham. We've got that story for you next. Fulton's library team is bringing its love of books to local businesses. The Fulton County Library System has stocked crates of books in local barbershops, hair salons, laundromats, and other businesses for their patrons to enjoy.
You get people, you have sort of a captive audience here for one thing, which is great when they're waiting anyway. So, and then you just give them a chance to be exposed to it in a very, sort of like a low barrier, no pressure, and hopefully, put their book in their pocket and take it home with them and then pass it on to somebody else.
Known as pop-up library crates, each crate typically contains 20 to 25 like-new fiction and nonfiction books for juvenile, young adults, and adults. Interested readers can read the book for however long they like and return it to its original crate for any of the 34 Fulton County libraries.
Part of the library's goal is to eliminate any barriers to access to books. So even if you don't have a library card, if your library card is blocked, that won't prevent you from using any of these books. It's completely on the honor system.
Each crate receives a monthly replenishing of other new books. The purpose of the pop-up library crate program is to spread the passion of reading within the Fulton community. For more information, you can email library.outreach@fultoncountyga.gov. And finally, Fulton's library system celebrates the birth of beloved author Dr. Seuss. The Buckhead Library was full of Dr. Seuss fans, young and old, in honor of Read Across America. The library, along with sponsoring partners, hosted a number of Seussical fun activities and treats, including a magician who wowed the crowd. Read Across America Day is an annual event that celebrates the birth of author Theodore Seuss Geisel, better known as Dr. Seuss.
Very popular books to check out at the library are our Dr. Seuss collection. They are constantly checked out. You can see by some of them that they have been well loved in most of our branches and continue to just be so popular.
It is a reading motivation and awareness program that calls for every child in every community to celebrate reading. And before we go, our reminder that FGTV wants to connect with you online. Be sure to follow FGTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for up-to-date Fulton County news. You can watch a replay of this show and other FGTV programming anytime on our YouTube channel, so please subscribe. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Dante Carter, in for Shania Chavis-Rucker. Thank you so much for watching us. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.